In one of the other videos I said at some moment that I do not want to mention architectural competitions because I did not want to get angry. Well, it's freaking time to get angry. Have you ever heard of an architectural competition? If you're an architect, of course you have. If you're not, you might have heard of it because of some famous building in your city, country, whose architect was decided based on a competition. So how does it work? Simple, as any other competition. Some investor, private or state, wants to build something, they ask the offices to compete for the projects, and then 5, 10, 50, in some case hundreds and in some case thousands of architectural offices spend weeks and months developing their idea. They all submit it 1 hour before the deadline, after a couple of sleepless nights, and then the jury decides on the first place, second place, third place. And most of the time, not always, gives the contract to the winner. So what's the problem with this? Sounds perfect to me. Well, where do you want to start? There is no objective way to judge architecture. It's always subjective. Yes, if you didn't respect some of the demands, you can objectively be disregarded. But it is too naive to look at it like that, because most of the participants do a good job on all those objective requirements. So for every competition, I guarantee you, change the jury and you will have completely different results. So competitions are a pure lottery, gambling. Working on a competition takes a lot of time. I know that actors go on auditions, but this is not an audition. This takes months of work. And it is a waste of time. Many architects will tell you that there is a lot of recycling of ideas. Some stuff you developed during the competition will be reusable. Maybe you even learn something new. But that is not a glass half full. That is looking at a glass with a couple of drops of water in it and saying, hey, it's not bad at all. The glass is not empty. This is a deliberate humiliation that we accept because we are brought up in a competitive world and because we think that it's okay to work for months without being paid. How many other professions do this? I'm sure some, but how many? What if you're a lawyer and instead of charging me 200 euros the moment I walk through the door, what if I told you, I have a case for you. I need someone to defend me in court, but I will make a competition. 100 different lawyer offices will prepare most of the case for me. I will give you 3 months to do this. I will not pay you a dime, and after 3 months, I will choose 1 out of the 100 of you to represent me. How many lawyer offices would accept that? Architects do. Why? Is there so many of us that we have to fight for the bone? No, the system is made that way. A Dutch scientist, forgot the name, described the mind as a hill, and the process of thinking is going down the hill in a sled. And the more you do it, the more deep the grooves are, so you follow those patterns of thought. And it is hard to think differently. It's hard to follow other paths. Once I was walking into a building in a row of people and everyone was holding the door for the one behind them. What a nice gesture, I thought. When I came to the door, I let go and realized that the door is fixed. It did not need any holding. But everyone saw the person in front of them doing it, so they joined. I had interesting conversations with friends who defend competitions. They say that the reward is worth it, that you learn a lot and recycle a lot. But guess where those friends of mine work? In big, successful architectural companies. So what's the problem with that? Couple of problems. Whether you win the competition or not, you are getting your paycheck at the end of the month. If you're a small architectural office and decide you work on the competition, would you work for free for 3 months on something that the chances of winning are 1 in 50 or 1 in 100 or 1 in a freaking 1,000? If you're a small office, you do not even get to compete. In order to get invited to cool competitions for important buildings, you have to be established. So you're discriminated. That is why those large offices have a much higher percentage of winning, because they're invited to much smaller exclusive competitions. Okay, so then just be good. Become a successful large office that gets invited and everything will be okay. Hey, the name of the game is capitalism, neoliberalism, dog eat dog, there can be only one, fight, 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 kill, kill, kill. Don't be a loser like the rest 99%. So here's the freaking problem with that. How does an architectural office become a non-loser, awesome, big and famous? 2 ways. Remember the 3 rules of real estate? Location, location, location. Let me give you the 3 rules of business. Connections, connections, connections. In Germany, USA, Serbia, Siberia or Syria, it is who you know, not what you know. If you're lucky enough to know the right people, you will get to design and build large projects and establish an office. It is the story of the first million. It is the story of Russian oligarchs and US capitalists. Once that gets you started, then you will be eligible for other stuff. Then you can pay or not pay students and young architects to do competitions for you. And then it's just a numbers game. Vegas, baby. You calculate if you do 10 or 20 competitions where you're invited with 10 other offices, you have to win at least one. You can accept the cost of very cheap labor. The least paid profession with a faculty degree in Germany, by the way. Second option, you're lucky to win the competition. Congratulations, many famous architectural offices didn't have connections but started by winning a large competition. Does that mean they're good or lucky? Both. What is the percentage? If you ask me, luck is the main factor. As I told you, change the jury, you will get completely different results. You know how all rich people think they are rich not because they are lucky or because they inherited money, but because they're smarter and more hardworking than the others? What do you think is the case with the architects? With their egos? They all think they are where they are because they're geniuses and not because the tiny white ball landed on their field on some point when they were young and clueless. Look, someone has to win at the end. And once they get those first big projects, as I said, once they enter the dancing circle, then it is not so hard to stay there. As I said, you will get invited to exclusive competitions, you have cheap labor, get them to work on more competitions like on an assembly line, and you will win some of them. Even the broken clock shows the right time twice a day, for heaven's sake. The more you build, the more important people you will get to learn. And now you have the connections as well. Congratulations, you're the winner. We're all losers, and we will make you seem even more important than you are. We will make black and white artistic photos of you and put them on magazine covers. Now we will ask you what you had for breakfast, what you think about intermittent fasting, what are your opinions on the government and on the fact that Elon Musk is dating Grimes, because you are obviously a genius, a mind from the outer space, a remarkable personality. Here is what Rem Koolhas says on competitions. While the majority of projects are acquired through competitions, they are nonetheless a form of torture. No other profession would be willing to be humiliated to this extent, where somebody can tell you, I really respect you, I think you're an exceptional human being, so can you collaborate or participate with 19 other architects that are similarly amazing in a project where you only have a 5% chance to get the building? And his complaint is about exclusive competitions where they get invited with 19 others. How about those open competitions? Two German architects, Martin Haas and Amando Sattler, wrote this article in the architectural magazine here in Germany called Bauwelt. And they described a competition for a Bauhaus museum in Dessau where 831 architects participated. And another one for the Guggenheim branch in Helsinki where 1,715 architects registered. As they say, 2,546 architectural projects made for two buildings, one of which is maybe never going to be built. If all of those offices worked on the projects for just 10 days, that is 110 years of wasted work for two buildings. And most of the offices will work for weeks and months on competitions. So what is the solution? Well, first of all, I do not allow myself to be humiliated and compete for a bone. I did 1 or 2 competitions in my life and never invested more time than a week. And I do not run from a fair fight. Please do not misunderstand me, but architectural competitions cannot be fair by default, because they're subjective. If someone told me we compete to make an off-grid house, the winner will be the one whose house spends the least energy. Great, I'm all in. 1,000 participants, I don't care. But there is a number, a scientific, objective way to measure the energy expenses. I know that if I make a project that results in a certain number, I win. It's objective. With an architectural competition, it is unknown. That is the torture. It is pure lottery. And I'm not a gambler, not with my time. My life is too short for that. The two aforementioned German architects suggest a solution. They actually suggested it to the regulatory bodies here in Germany. They have some nice ideas like limiting the number of participants for every competition, 5 to 10, let some of them be invited and the rest can be decided on a lottery principle, but before they waste any time. Some division of the prize money among all the participants, rotation of the jury that should also consist of young officers and architects, etc. That's their solution. As I said, nice ideas. My solution, do not accept to work on competitions. Yes, I know, if you don't do it, they will, that other office you're competing with, and they will take your projects. So work, fight, kill. Well then, what can I say? Do whatever you want. I will only do a competition if I know I will learn something new, and if I find it so interesting that I would do it at home as a hobby, accepting that the chances of winning are zero. I haven't seen a single competition in my life where that was the case, not the one where I was able to enter. But if that is the case with you, if your hobby is doing architectural competitions, great. Thanks for making it neat for all of us as well, for training the investors and the world to treat us like they do, to make them think they can dangle a bone and we will all rush to work for weeks for free just so they can draw our name out of the hat. Do that. I will not. Over and out.